Hello, welcome back. This is True Foxer Ari. This is episode 4. I recorded this episode already. You know, I felt like I had a pretty good amount of content and stuff. And then I looked back at my footage, all of it corrupted. But this is basically what I did. I made a little enchantment area. This has full level 30 enchants, and then I enchanted some of my armor. The flooring's like decent. I might change it, but I wanted it to have like a foggy effect because I wanted the whole area to kind of look like it just sort of crashed in from a meteorite, something like that. So that way I can have everything ready for when I decide to enchant items. And you know, I've got anvil, grindstone, crafting table. And then I added in these pieces of glass panel because I thought they would look nice. So I guess on the agenda today, I am going to be doing the Nether Portal over there. I've been trying to get back to making these videos and stuff. It's a little bit tricky because I've got a lot going on. I don't fully have a plan for how this is going to look. I guess I could do something like that. Maybe I could mix in like a little bit of this pale moss. I feel like that looks a little bit better. I could probably get some mossy cobblestone to help. Or maybe like some mossy bricks. Let me get rid of that right there. I think I have access to glowberries. So if there's none in the horse's pen, then there's a hole I dug somewhere that leads to a lush cave. Here. Okay, I managed to get a little bit of stuff. I've got some hanging roots and also like a little bit of vines. And I have that spore blossom there. Okay, I don't think that looks bad. I think I just need to give it a little bit of time to grow for the vines and stuff. Okay, so I kind of want to have like a bit more of a like gradual and then like a little bit more steep. So then I can get to the Nether Portal. Here, I've also want to clean up these patches where the rocks were, and I just never placed the dirt underneath. Okay, I did a little bit of terraforming, and this feels like more gradual, like I want it to here. And then it's more steep right there. So I'm probably gonna do some ladders and stuff like that. No, I could probably do some slabs. Have a staircase going up like that. Hold on, let me see how that looks. Okay, I like how this is more steep. I feel like these trees are in the way because I want there to be trees. I'll probably make some custom ones at a later date. But yeah, I like how this is looking so far. I'm breaking 3. I'm breaking 3, okay. It's like my footage from my last episode corrupted because I don't even know what happened. It just recorded the audio, but nothing else. And like I was very upset about that. So then I was telling one of my friends about it. And then he had the brilliant-ish idea to then, you know, record something at least. So, you know, we played mini games on the Hive. Also, that last video, to edit it, just on the subtitles, I probably spent like 6 hours just trying to configure them, and I still have like several places where I messed up. Like in the beginning of the video, I mixed up his color and font with my own because I had them like in the wrong slots, so whenever I selected everything that was on the row, then I ended up taking everything that was set on the bottom row and changing that, and then some of the ones at the start were mixed up. So also, I'm sorry if I seem, for this recording at least, like pretty tired. It's because I have the world's worst headache right now. Why do they always spawn in like the weirdest locations? That's an acacia sapling. You know, between all these videos and stuff, I am still considered a full-time student. And then on the side, I've also been putting my written work, submitting it to journals and stuff. Some have prizes, some don't. Really, I'm just trying to get my name more out there. So I've done a lot of research and stuff to try and figure out, you know, how I'm even supposed to talk to people, like agents and all that. And the best way is to try and put my name out there because that's how it is. You need some sort of popularity. Like within the writing world, at least these Minecraft videos aren't gonna do me any good. But these are just like a me project thing. They have no affiliation with any of my work that I create or anything like that, I guess. So, like one of my favorite books is Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. The way that it got made was that it was originally a short story that was put in a literary magazine. I still can't say the word right, so sorry. But it was put in a magazine and it, won a few awards and stuff. I think, if I'm wrong, I'll just cut this part out. Because it did good as a short story, people liked it, then Daniel Keyes was able to then present that story to different people, and then he got the grant to write it into a longer series, or into a longer book. I got the Nether Portal done, so next up I have Pathways, Find a Fortress, and then kill a bunch of Endermen to get some Ender Pearls, and then Ender Pearls to get Eyes of Ender. But yeah, it looks nice. Anyways, I think that's gonna do it for right now. I'm feeling quite ill. Like, not sick, but that's all for right now, at least. For the last part of this video, I was not paying attention during setup, and my audio was muted the entire time. The footage for this one was mostly me making pathways and talking about my father. I might talk about him more on a different day. What I have right now is a poem, and I will read that as the footage plays. This one is titled Asunder. In wreckage I lay, thinking on the night where if I left you claimed how you would change mellow streams into waters raging like the Mediterranean. Looking back I see, having swam through oceans as you called yourself my raft, but vines wrapped like your hands around my wrist as you offered those petty flowers, decayed like ships, turned into driftwood that I pulled myself upon as water cold as your touch rained over my skin and mind, and made me wonder if I am the boat or the anchor, if I am the one drifting or holding out, and I see now that you were neither nor a sailor, but rather a stowaway, waiting. That one I made just kind of like freeballing during one of my club meetings. It has some meaning to me, but I don't want to get too deep into it today. And as for these pathways, I added some lanterns and, some texture things with the buttons and pressure plates, and then I called it there. I am most likely planning on going to the Nether in my next episode though. But that is going to be all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!